My first guest, guy I'm a big fan of, real funny comic, the great DL Hughley. What's up, man?
How you doing? Are you looking good, man?
Thank you very much.
I mean, relatively.
You're good. No, it's all relatively speaking.
Not go overboard.
Compared
You're
to
alive. It's a fucked up world when James Gandolfini gone and Charlie Sheen is healthy as fuck.
I'm not Orlando Bloom.
right.
You know, someone should have told you you can't curse.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. We're on Sirius Satellite Radio.
Right.
But we're not. We're also on regular radio.
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
All
that brilliance was just wasted in a torrent of beat.
Not on us.
Right.
No, I have a 40-second delay, which I think is a record. I think that's either an insult or a.
You probably should have a 40.
Well,
they were pushing for the 5-minute mark. They'd have thought it was dead air. What's wrong with the station?
Yeah, last night's show is airing right now.
Oh my God!
So you guys were just talking about during the commercial, the Riley Cooper. Ken Chesney thing. So now, what are your thoughts on that? You're not surprised by it?
Well, no, I'm never surprised when white people get around other white people and say the N-word.
Right.
It was at a kid, when he said, "I'll beat every N-word here" at a Kenny Chesney concert. The only black people there were cleaning up after the show.
That's what I say. He's not gonna have a
the
fight.
thing is, he got in a fight with a guy who was a security guard.
Who didn't even know
who
Kenny
was a
Chesney
black
was.
guy.
The
Probably
black guy,
not.
probably, I don't know who is this dude with the big hat.
Yeah, right, exactly. So Riley Cooper got in a fight with him, and for whatever reason, he said because he was drinking, decided that he would.
It's never because I'm gonna tell you something. It is and personally I take umbrage at a couple of things. One is I don't think it was because he's drinking. We all get contrite when our money is gonna be impacted.
That's a lame thing to say.
It is. Yeah. And I don't think that people. I think that we can't live in a society that is so is so dishonest that we pretend like we care about something we don't. This man is a grown man. He said what he said. People would either dig him or not. We can't, like Paula Deen, the N-word cost her $12 million. Who knew the N-word was so expensive?
Yeah.
She's paying like reparations.
Nowadays it is.
And it's not even to change. We don't want a civil discourse. What happens is people think a thing and now know better than to say it. So it drives it on. And what it does is society's disillusioned because they think because nobody's saying anything, we're much further along than we really are.
Right.
You made a good point, though. I said, I don't know how he can go back to work when he's the only white guy in his wide receiver room. And you said, it doesn't make a difference. They know that he said that, but even before he said it, his teammates probably thought he was saying that anyway.
I think all white
which
people
is probably a good point. You
said it, right?
I have said it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course you have. You guys have said it, right?
Are you kidding me? When I have bets, on games,
Of course.
I've said it. I've tried to say it like the cool way because people have asked me.
What is the cool way?
You know, well, first of all,
you can't say it while you next to me.
I don't even try.
You started this conversation.
I don't try to say it.
We can't get this. You mess up my NAACP image.
I know. No. When I first got to Michigan, and I was,
Michigan's full of N-words.
Oh yeah.
Well, they said that I was their N-word, and I was confused. I said, how does that work? And they said, well, if you say it this way, then it's like you're friends. It's like I'm your friend. And so I tried to say it, and they're like, dude,
you know
that's
when I call somebody who's my friend?
That's wrong.
My friend.
Right.
I actually say that.
But I think what DL you're trying to say is that it's more insulting to have some lame excuse for it than actually saying it.
It's actually
when
more
you start to lie about it, like, I was drinking.
No. He didn't. He didn't say it. I think he came out and said, "I have no excuse. I was drinking, but this is the lowest of the low.
It is.
I feel
it's more
terrible."
Insulting to pretend like the NFL cares.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. If you're good, you play. That's the other thing.
They don't care. They don't care what you do or say.
Gay comments, racial comments,
whatever. If you run a 4-3,
exactly.
You can say all the N-words you want. If you run an out route,
Plaxico Burress shot off a gun in a club and he's playing. I mean, if you're good, you play.
Well,
but the real problem is when you're that borderline guy that they can make an example of,
and then they do.
Right, and they start to go off on this high horse like, it's really about this.
Well, and they are making an example of him. They're making him take sensitivity training.
He's on the team right now because Macklin is hurt.
He was on the team before,
but they don't know that he
was probably the fourth wide.
But they need him.
Now they need him.
Right.
Here's why the Philadelphia
out the window. They need him. That's why.
And here's why the Eagles care about this. Here's why the Eagles find him. Here's why they're making a big deal out of this, because they need him to be a part of the team, included by his teammates, liked by his teammates, respected by his teammates. And when you have a guy like Shady McCoy, your starting tailback, coming out and saying, I have no respect for him because he said that, that creates real problems
and
for
also
your
the
team.
fact that the N-word got to throw you the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that situation.
Went over, man.
Right, in that situation, that's exactly.
Wait, where's this N-word not throwing me the ball? I'm hoping.
It ain't 19.
Tell Kenny Chesney to throw you the damn ball.
It ain't 1972 anymore, right?
And
but you know, it's.
This is so benign. It's just like if you good, you're right. If you're good, you play. Like I suggest that Tim Tebow start praying to whatever God Ray Lewis is praying to right now. Because Tim Tebow is still a virgin. Ray Lewis had 6 kids by 4 different women and still a Christian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So no condom formed against him shall prosper.
Well, you have both ends of the spectrum on the same team. You had Tebow and Cromartie on the same team.
Right. I'm serious. It's ridiculous. I know. I do that. Mante Teo, whether he's gay or not.
Right.
Mante Teo, they don't care that he was gay. He ran a 4.7, like a 4.8.
Right.
So he couldn't have caught a girlfriend if he really had one.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Like
right.
I wear a condom when I sleep because I don't trust the women I dream about. So
That's true. Well, some of the women I dream about know how to put a condom on themselves, so I just leave one there by the bed. But well, what about you grew up in Compton, I believe,
did.
right? So
I'm 35th and
okay, so the Aaron Hernandez situation. How much of this, like, do you sympathize with the guy because he comes from a culture, maybe a gang culture, and does he deserve any sympathy?
we switched to
Aaron Hernandez.
I think that any man
Right.
who gets $40 million and reverts to what he was before should be shot himself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, it's hard to
I
have
can't feel
sympathy
sorry.
for the guy because he got out. He got over the hurdle, and he's making videos about how his older brother was his mentor and
You
about.
gotta still have sympathy for him somewhere deep down because it has not been proven.
Well, that I
that
agree
he's
with.
the guy.
I really agree with that.
It's
Yeah.
circumstantial
Okay, well,
at
yeah,
this
all right.
point.
That's true.
Assuming he's guilty. I mean, if he came out as
Oh, it's
guilty,
a tragedy.
yeah.
And it is wrong how we so easily and we're so readily to believe whatever anybody says. Like the presumption of
Well, that's true,
of
too.
innocence
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so.
Well, and that's the thing.
It's like the core of our democracy that you're innocent to proven guilty. So you're right.
And that therein lies a problem that I had with the whole Sandusky thing. When everyone was saying Sandusky's guilty, jump on the wagon and hate him, I was the one. I was sitting there like, man, he was such a great guy to me.
Well, he knew him.
He
knew
I
Sandusky.
love this guy. How
Did he
can this
fondle you?
be?
No, that's what I'm saying. He never
You
did.
did tell us.
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't. Maybe if he did, I blocked it out.
Here's what I didn't get.
No, but I don't know why we always assume from the get-go only the worst.
They did an investigation.
Right.
They found that he was guilty, and they tried to, or allegedly, right? They found that he was
Sure,
some way
yeah,
Who,
yeah.
Aaron
No,
Hernandez?
No.
Sandusky.
No, but I'm talking when it first dropped. I'm talking when
By
the
the time it
allegations
dropped,
first
they had
came out.
already. It was an old allegation.
Oh,
They
no,
had
it
already-
was mega stuff.
I hadn't read the grand jury testimony that listed all the individual victims. This
There
is
was
just when I
mega stuff
first
on him
heard
over
about
years
it.
and years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I didn't know about the research. I didn't know about the whole case. I just heard Jerry's guilty, and I sat there like, well,
You know, 'cause
we
Jerry
don't know
was
that.
guilty.
We don't know.
Jerry screwed more kids than McDonald's.
Yeah, I know.
That's what it sounds
And
like.
it's
I
a
mean,
shame.
it's like
Let me. Here's the thing that is amazing to me is that it's always the poor kids. Like always women will always. A lot of single mothers will march their children to priests or to coaches. They're marching the children because they want them to be exposed to men.
Yes.
And they're actually walking lamps. Like that coach in Syracuse. Remember the ball boy said he was molested from the time
right, but
he
what's
was
his face?
13.
Right.
Bernie Fine.
If the
Yeah.
coach is still having sex with you at 28, you got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like the Kardashian wedding didn't last that long.
Now you talking about these are adults now,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Exactly.
Now the coach got a key to your apartment. It's a whole different thing.
When he's got his own drawer.
Not today, coach. I have to work tomorrow. It's just not. I mean, everybody is. It's just this whole like the things we get so worked about, like Anthony Weiner texting a picture of his. Who cares?
Yeah.
We used to have to draw pictures of our penis.
very
Consuelo, you finished with that copy machine? I got it.
Yeah, in the caveman days, you have to draw it on a wall and hope a girl walk by it at some point.
And he still won't leave the race. Ain't it just like a dick not to pull out on time? Ain't it just? It's just.
Yeah, he got 4 or 5 of the worst publicity days I've ever seen.
Oh my God! But he didn't even. Artie, I can't. Maybe I'm just jaded and cynical.
Yeah.
But what did he do that like negates?
Well, whenever it's sexual, I could care less.
Yeah, right.
It's got nothing to do with running a country. I mean, look at Kennedy. The sexual stuff is easy. As long as it's not a kid and it's a consensual thing. I mean, okay, the guy's got sexual hang-ups. I mean, he's an adult man.
Right.
The only issue is, as far as running a city like New York, it's poor judgment to use, obviously. But morally, I have no problem with what he did.
He is the quintessential example of New York. He is a quintessential. Like New York is a great city that makes things happen with dirt under it.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Like that's what it is. He's the quintessential example of what New York is, and I think people hate to see such stark examples of who they are.
Bro,
people
definitely.
hate to.
No,
they hate mirrors.
Every single day on the back, or like the Daily News, they love like doom and gloom and bad news and running people through the muck. This will be on the front page. Simon Cowell got his best friend's wife pregnant. Yeah. That'll be on the front page for 4 days. And you see in some of it a reflection of you.
Right.
On some level, you and your hang-ups and your faults. A-Rod, of course, they'll never get rid of him. But you're right, I agree. And New York is an example of that, but I don't know. I just think he could have been smarter about the whole thing. All right, we got to take a break. You can hang out for a little bit, right?
Oh, I'd love to.
DL Hughley. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Talking with DL Hughley. He'll be at Gotham Comedy Club this upcoming weekend.
Friday and Saturday.
Okay, Friday and Saturday. And you got a syndicated radio show starting.
Yeah, it starts. We soft launch October. I hate to say that word. So August 12th.
Showbiz,
and then hard launch August. So the first one is just a warning shot.
Now, what is it? Is it
launch.
a political show or
No,
it's just whatever you want to talk about?
We have we'll play songs and talk about whatever. And
cool.
And I think it's just like now the country is in such a quandary. Everything divides us. We don't see anything the same.
No, it really is, especially with the Obama administration, it's officially a 50-50 thing. And if you're president, half the country hates you, half the country likes you. And that's got to be very disconcerting.
What? It isn't. Like
I don't know if it's racial or whatever, but he seems like the first president where, just a certain group of people just find it okay to f with him on every level.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's odd.
It's not really that. See, nothing. Like every once in a while, we'll be chugging along, and then there'll be these examples to show us how far we have to go. Like the Trayvon Martin thing. There are two things that no one ever feels sorry for.
Right.
One is a great white shark, and one is a young black male. You never hear anybody being empathetic because and what happens is if you are the father of a young black male, or you have been a young black male, then you understand what that's like and how, because the whole thing for me was, if Trayvon Martin wasn't doing anything and got killed, and a cat who does do something got killed, what's the difference?
Right.
The difference is dark. If it's dark and I'm scared, I can kill you. That's it. That's really, and that's
that's the message that sends.
That's
absolutely.
a frightening thing to know.
No, I know, absolutely.
And people will sit back and go, I can see how you can be scared of a black guy in this dark.
Right.
And it's like when Bill O'Reilly went on about this tirade to single mothers. Trayvon Martin wasn't born to a single mother.
Right.
He was born to a nuclear family that
well, that's what I mean. So that throws that argument completely out the window.
Yeah. And when Obama, here's the thing: a white guy from the North and a white guy from the South could have totally different experience. They could not have any similarities. A Latin cat from the East and a Latin cat from the West could have totally different. Every black person in this country, every black male has had similar experience. All of them.
The same thing. And that's what Obama was trying to say when he
When
came
the
out with
president
that.
says,
Right.
even I've been followed,
Yeah.
he had people follow him, and he was a bright dude. Now he can't get even one white person to follow him. I bet he wished the Congress would profile him now. Follow me to Obamacare.
Well, that's what I always say for like a black man now to be on Twitter, having followers. You remember that was a bad thing. You don't want anybody following you.
Yeah, right.
Now it's like the best thing ever.
Like when I was on Dancing with the Stars, I got the lowest score, and I was happy. I was like, well, yeah, because usually when I see a judge, that's the number of years you got. I'm like, thank God, I got the minimum.
Yeah, everybody's judging everybody. It's fun to judge these
I'll
days.
be home in 2.
So, is radio something you've always wanted to do? It seems like a natural thing
Well,
for you.
just like you, it's very immediate.
It's fun.
Yeah,
man.
it's
It's
immediate.
fun. Yeah.
It's very immediate, and I like the immediacy of it. I like how it's tightrope. It's like walking a tightrope.
I'll tell you, by the time I got on the Howard Stern show, I had done TV, I had done movies, stand-up, obviously, and stand-up, you get that immediacy, but just in that room. But that first day after doing Howard, I was like, oh my God, like millions of people just heard all that,
Right.
and there's no editing. It's just you being funny or entertaining, or and if you're not doing so great, you take that hit too.
Right.
But that was a price I was willing to pay
And people-
for when it hit, and and it was good.
And you're
you know?
iconic. No, really, I'm serious. You in the stand-up world, you're an icon. I mean, it's really true. I wish it wasn't true. I actually hate that I have to say it. So let's just get that out of the way. I hate that I have to admit it. I wish so badly it was a lie.
That's hilarious.
But
Spoken
it's
like a
true. Why didn't he kill himself? Jesus Christ. I have no idea why he wasn't. He can't do shit right. But it made you. It was. I've never, and I've seen you. I've been around a long time. I've never seen a comic find his groove in such an unorthodox way.
Oh, thanks.
Like I was like, wow, this dude is crumbling in front of the world, and people are loving him. I can get the same thing at a super prohibition hotline, but I'm watching this. And then he gets another show. I want him to die.
It is a phenomenon.
I think it's fair.
Well, just get in line. Thank you, I think, but it
No,
is-
really, you really did hit your sweet spot.
No, thank you, man. And that's what you want as a comic. You want to, you want to make a connection with the crowd, And like I said, like when you guys did the original Kings of Comedy, I remember seeing that. Like I said, I saw that 4 times by myself, and it was just so great to see that. It is kind of magic when it happens,
You
And,
never expect anything like that to happen. It's like, but
and no matter what, you'll always have that
Yeah,
as
and-
a comic. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
But you just like this, like you loved what it did for you, but you
Right.
don't want to marry it.
Right, exactly. That's the problem.
Like
yeah.
you don't want to be a guy that talks about. Like I have a friend who I love, but every time I talk to him, it's about something we used to do, and it's a lot of times I don't remember. If you can hold on to memories, you don't have room to make new ones.
Exactly. No, you get trapped in that too.
I don't want to
absolutely.
be that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that. It's a great experience, and one that it was just it was someone that I always cherish. But it's something that I just won a Peabody Award.
That's all right. Yes.
And the award was great, but I'll never see it. Somebody will always remind me of that because it not that it's not significant, but it's already happened.
Right.
So it's not.
Move
it's,
on. You got
yeah.
You got to move on.
Sharks gotta keep
Well, that's
swimming.
what an artist is. I think
Right.
is did you see the Richard Pryor documentary on Showtime?
I
Have you
did. It
seen
made me
omit the logic. Yeah.
my 26-year-old daughter called me
Right.
and goes, "I love you, and I know you did the best you could." And I'm like, what is that? Of course I did the best I could. I'm a wonderful father.
Gets you emotional, right?
right. I did the best I could. I didn't set myself on fire. I didn't do a mountain of blow with 2 white women. I didn't do that.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with DL. Can you hang through the band?
Man, I'd love to hang.
Can you hang out?
It ain't Kenny Chesney, is it? 'Cause I know
No, it ain't Chesney. We couldn't get him.
I'll be damned if I'm gonna get suspended.
Yeah, okay, great. We got the band, and then can hang out for a little while. Now, I was talking a little bit about the Richard Pryor thing because you watch that and you talk about evolving as an artist. There's that one part where one of his ex-wives is saying, he was getting offered a chance to maybe go to the next level, and he didn't want the job because he was so angry at a bunch of things, and he didn't want to. He was just bitter. Like when he came back from Africa, and he felt not a lot of people sort of elevated with him to where he was trying to go. Like, I mean, can you relate to any of that at all? I mean, or is it? Because I mean, he's a guy. Obviously, I can relate with the substance abuse with him,
Right.
but what do you relate to on that level?
I think that you will, when you are a comedian, and when you're a comedian who kind of tries to stay in touch with how you actually feel, that you one day you will meet the thing you fear the most. You will meet but I can't. I dig women. I dig alcohol. I just can't. And you see how destructive it is.
Sure.
Like you're like, wow, this is really
That's crazy.
destructive.
It's crazy, yeah.
But I can't. I mean, you know, it's like, and so when you hear how it impacts your children or how it impacts your wife, like I have a wonderful wife, 27 years. I love her. I'm in love with her. I get it, but it's just some part of me is so broken that no matter what you do, like I remember. Once my wife said, "You can't love you. I just can't love you enough." And I'm like, I've never been the kind of cat who thought I don't need for people to.
Right.
Like I just need, just to be clear. I need to be able to express how I'm feeling clearly. And to me, that satiates me. But that's a very lonely experience for the people who have to.
Oh no, absolutely. Especially if you're in this business.
Right.
We got to take a break. We'll be back with the band, and DL is definitely going to hang out a little longer at Gotham this weekend. We'll be back with the Artie Lange Show.